There are a lot of cameras out there, but the Aqara Camera Hub G3 has some features that separate it from the rest. This thing works with all the assistants, even Apple's HomeKit. That right there, most cameras can't do. It has a hub built in to pair other devices to it. It can be used as a security system. There is also crazy AI and automations, and it can be a remote control for your TV, receiver, a fan that has a remote, and other devices. We're going to go through all those now. Today's video is sponsored by Aqara. They sent over this camera for me to check out and share with you guys. I've been using Aqara stuff for a while now. I recently added one of their door sensors and an old LED strip into a pantry. These things respond quickly. I open the door, it pops on, close it, goes right off. If you want to check these or this camera out, I got a link in the description. There are great Prime Day savings, so take advantage of those. The Camera Hub G3 at the time of recording this is $109 with a $20 off coupon on Amazon. This is a 2K camera with a resolution of 2304 by 1296. That's a bump up from 1080p cameras. It'll give you a little more clarity. This is how the camera looks with just sunlight coming into the room. It's not super bright in here. Also, this is how it sounds from about 10 feet away. A nice feature about the G3 Camera Hub is its privacy mode. The camera will roll back. You'll see these little eyes. And if you put on the included rubber ears, it has a sleepy cat look to it. We're gonna talk about the automations you can do in a bit to enable this privacy mode. It's pretty cool, and there are a bunch of different options, so definitely stay tuned. The camera does have infrared emitters for night vision. You do have the option to have that automatically come on, or you can manually turn it off. The G3 has a pan of 360 degrees and a tilt of 45 degrees. It is a 110 degrees ultra wide lens. The G3 is also capable of two-way communication. On the back is the speaker. This speaker is also for your siren too, and it does get pretty loud. The G3 camera is Wi-Fi and supports 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. For power, it's amazing. It has USB-C, which is nice to see. And then on the bottom, you do have the ability to add a mount. Now, to save your recordings, there is a micro SD card slot that is capable of using 128 gigabyte cards. You can do continuous recording on it or save clips. Now, if you want to check out those recordings, you can go into the app and then you would choose playback. And in here, you could look at the different times motion was detected. You can scroll through and see the different events that happen. And you can also check into your albums where you have your screenshots and recordings to view them in there and check them individually. Now, one feature I really like about the Aqara Camera Hub G3 is that it works with Apple's HomeKit Secure Video. And what that does is if you have the larger plan, the 2 terabyte plan, you can use unlimited cameras and you could save your footage for up to 10 days in your iCloud account. So right now I've been using that. I could save, there's my different files that are saved directly into my iCloud account and also saved locally. Here's a quick look at the controls in the app. This is where you can choose to put it into privacy mode and it will close. You'd wake it up there. You can do a snapshot. You can do a recording, speak in there, hit pause on what you're seeing, hit a snapshot if you want. You got your infrared remote to control your devices, and you have your controls to move the camera around or go to predefined locations. And then you have the advanced stuff that we'll talk about this different AI in a moment. Now, like I said, the G3 Camera Hub works with all the assistants. If you use it with Alexa, you can bring this up on an Echo Show, and you can also bring it up on the Fire TV. So if you ask to see your dashboard on your Fire TV, you could go through, select the camera, and see it there. You could take advantage of the motion sensor on this to use with Alexa automations. As for Apple, it works with HomeKit. You could take advantage of even a few more features out of this to trigger automations. You could check out this camera on any of your Apple devices using the Home app, or you can use the Aqara app. Also, you can use this with your Apple TV so that you can go into the control panel, bring up your cameras, take a look at this, or you can also set it up so if there is motion detected, it will do a little pop-up on your screen, and you could choose to go full screen or just have the little picture-in-picture and then close that. Another unique feature of the Aqara Camera Hub G3 is that it is a hub, and you can pair up to 128 devices to it. They do need to be Aqara devices, but by adding different devices such as door and window sensors, motion sensors, leak detection. You add their smart switches. There's a whole lineup of devices that you add to this, and between these different sensors, you can create some pretty impressive automations within the Aqara app, the Home app, or even within the Alexa app. Like the Aqara sensor in my pantry that uses a simple automation written in Apple's HomeKit. With these different sensors, you can take advantage of this next feature. It is using the Camera Hub G3 as a security system. There are 3 different modes. You can have home, away, and night alert. Each of those can be programmed to respond differently. So when you're at home, maybe it just pays attention to door sensors, but disables the motion sensors. You can have it that so it automatically goes into privacy mode. Then you put it in away, it comes out of privacy mode. It starts to pay attention to the sensors. There's a lot of great options with this. And since this pans and tilts, you could set it up so if a sensor goes off, maybe motion's detected it in another part of the room, it will pan over to where that sensor went off. So this has the speaker on the back for the siren. When you put it in away mode, you could have it set up so that if any of these sensors go off, it triggers the alarm. So now it's armed and now it's paying attention. So it just went off. And I'm getting a critical alert. So I can put that in home mode and it'll turn it off. That isn't gonna contact the police or anything. This is self-monitoring, but you will get a notification that you might not have got had you not put this up. I do have 2 more Aqara hubs. One is the standalone hub and the other is in the G2H camera. If this goes off, the other hub sirens will go off too to give you a louder alert and to hear it in multiple rooms. Next thing is the AI and automations. This has all different AI modes. You have face detection, human tracking, dogs and cat tracking, and gesture identification. Now, face detection, the way face detection works, you would go into your settings and choose face management. Here you would upload pictures of people, or you can take a snapshot right within the app. You could choose take a photo and snap a photo of yourself to include. And then once you upload that, it'll recognize you and it'll say whatever the name is when that person is recognized and send out a notification. The face detection is pretty cool. I have an automation set up so that if it sees me, it'll automatically put it into privacy mode just like it did. Now from here, what I can do is I can make an automation so that when I leave my house, it automatically triggers the automation in Apple's HomeKit that puts it in away mode. And then when I get home, it could automatically turn it off when I put it in home mode, or when I walk in and it sees me, it can shut. Now, if it doesn't recognize the face of the person that's there, you'll get an alert that says unknown person. The alerts are nice if you're away during the day and you have kids, and you want to be alerted when they come home or leave. Next, you have the human tracking. You can add that in with face detection, but some of these other ones you can't combine. But human tracking, it sees someone walk in, it's going to track them. I do like the dog and cats tracking. Crazy thing about this is it can use the AI to recognize gestures. There's a total of 5 gestures. You could use those gestures to trigger automations. I have one that puts us in privacy mode. So if I do the V and it sees it, it'll automatically roll up into privacy mode. Now, if I wanted to, I could take advantage of one of the other ones and trigger lights. I could use one of the gestures so that if I give it the okay sign, it'll use the infrared emitter, turn on my TV, it could fade the lights down. There's a lot of possibilities. Now, I do wish I could combine these different modes together. Unfortunately, you can't. I can't do face detection and gestures or dog and cat and gestures, but I can do human, no gestures, but face detection and not cats and dogs. So you got to pick which AI stuff you want to use. Another feature you're not going to find in a lot of cameras is the infrared emitter. And the way this works is if you go into the camera settings and you choose infrared remote control. Here you can choose the different remotes you have after you make them, or you can add a remote. What's cool is you have these different categories: TVs, cameras, air conditioning. It's a large choice. And then you can also use the customize, so you can program individual buttons. If you choose customize, you pick kind of your base remote you want to start with. Then you just teach it the different remotes you have. Or you can go in and you can look up your remote based on the manufacturer. Let's see, for me, let's just do a TV box. Go to Apple, and then what you'll do, press the buttons until it figures out the one you have. Then, after you're done, you will have a remote that you can go through and control each of the individual features. But to get the maximum flexibility, you can add that customize and then pick that design you want and go through and add the individual keys you want to it. That way it doesn't populate the buttons with things you may not want. Now you can work that remote into automations. Some of those automations are going to need to be written within the Aqara app, but you can have it set up so that when you walk into the room and it recognizes your face, it turns on the fan, turns on the TV for you. There are a lot of possibilities once you start to combine these devices together. This camera is packed with features. The fact it works with Apple's HomeKit is cool. The automation options within Apple's HomeKit go pretty deep. Not quite as deep within the Alexa app, but still great to use for automations. Go check it out. Links down in the description. Take advantage of the Prime Day savings across the lineup, especially on this camera. Now, are you using any Aqara devices in your house, or do you plan on getting some? Let us know in the comment section. Next, make sure to check out this video over here for some more great smart home information. I put the good stuff in for you, so go check it out.